Okay, so what I want to talk to you guys today about is actually not spring cleaning and not necessarily fitness, but it kind of has to do with both of those things because it's really kind of like a life hack. I'm going to call it that, life hack. And it's this idea of having an intentional life, and it's something that I kind of go in and out of being really good at. So it's just one of those things that we have to kind of constantly keep ourselves in check over. So just for like a little exercise to do right away, and try to have you, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a button on this that says chat, so you can write in the chat. I'm going to challenge you to come up with 3 words in the next 5 minutes. So I'll just keep talking, but I want you to stick in the chat 3 words that you would use to describe your future self. And when I say future self, let's just say the end of 2018. So like you're already on a fitness journey, you're changing some of your habits, we're cleaning out our houses. Like we're all in this for change. Like this year we want change. So I want you to think about some of the goals that you set for yourself, whether they're fitness, personal, business, finance, whatever. Think of some of those goals that you have for yourself, and just for a second envision what that's like accomplishing them at the end of this year. But more importantly, like, what are you like? If you had to describe yourself with 3 words, what would they be? So think for a second. I'm going to share with you my 3 words. And the idea is you can change these, but try to come up with them quickly so that we're just like pulling like right away from what we want, what we think that we will be like. So mine are, my first one was engaged, because I really want to ride this year out, and I just know to be the type of mom and coach and wife and friend that I want to be is I need to step up my level of engagement. So when I'm talking to you guys, I am talking to you guys. When I'm talking to my kids, I'm talking to my kids, and I'm not looking at my phone or trying to have a side conversation with somebody else or already thinking about other problems I have going on. All things that I've been very guilty of for, the first part of this year. So, and then my next word was grateful, because I'm trying to get rid of things in my house. I am trying to live a more minimalist life. I also have to do some serious budget cutting. So just to kind of set up for kind of a better, tomorrow, right? And so I'm trying to work on my gratitude so that I'm just so grateful for all the things that I have, so that I don't get in this mindset of like immediate gratification. And then decisive. So I'm like notorious for not making decisions, because I personally have always thought that it was like, well, I'm easygoing. I go with the flow. I do what other people want to do. I don't care. These are all things that I say all the time. And I actually thought for a long time it was a strength. And now I'm realizing that it's actually like an unattractive quality. So I'm working on being more decisive, like, no, this is what I need to do. This is what I want. And this is what I'm going to do. So, engaged, grateful, and decisive are mine. Let me open my chat up over here. So, Stacy, I love yours. Intentional, grateful, and servant heart. I love that. That's good, Stacy. Okay, I'm excited to see the other ones. And anyway, I'll put up a post too in our group so that we can also like share our words in there, because I think that this is part of keeping accountable. Ooh, strong, disciplined, focused. I love that, Angel. That's good. So what I want you guys to do is every day we're going to have problems. We're going to have things come up. We're going to have hiccups in the plan. Okay. You might have a day of total chaos and you're like, don't think I'm going to have time to work out today. Or total chaos of, well, I'm just going to eat like these comfort foods because this is what I deal with. And then I want you to take a second and just think about those 3 words. Well, how would an intentional, grateful, service-hearted person handle this? Does that make sense? How does a strong, disciplined, focused person problem solve this problem? And if you can just shift your mindset just a little bit into that, then it will be helpful. And one other thing to do with this is I don't know if you guys know this, but you can name your alarms on your phone. So I put in my phone every day at 10 o'clock, I have an alarm go off, and instead of just saying like the time and the alarm beeping, it has those 3 words. And I thought it was really hokey when I was told to do this. And I was like, oh, brother, I'm just going to look at those words and be like, whatever. But I will be literally like doing something and my phone will go off and I'll be like, oh, that's weird. My alarm going off. Like I still forget that I have it set, even though it's a daily thing that happens. And I look at it, I'm like, okay, don't forget to be more engaged. I put my most important word first. So I'm like, don't forget to be engaged. And that really shifts my mindset. Victoria, I love it. Disciplined, accomplished, different. Love it. Those are awesome words. I love those words. So set alarms in your phone for just once a day. I did 10 a.m. If it goes off during, you know, some sort of assembly you're out with your kids or during church, like, oh, well, right? Like, it is just, you know, it's just living in an intentional life means being reminded every day of what your intentions are, of who you want to be. Okay. So I want to shift over really fast back to our thinking of our future self, our, like our goals that we want. So the type of mom I want to be, the type of coach I want to be, the type of friend I want to be, the type of wife I want to be, the type of individual, the type of woman, right? So, I mean, we all have aspirations and goals. So they're kind of up here in this like bubble area. And then there's this line, right? And we're here. So we're trying to get there. I was like, should I draw this? But I don't know if it goes reverse. Anyway, so I didn't. And there's two major things that stop us from becoming what we want, from these habits, from these goals, from these things. And the first one is distraction. And that kind of goes without saying, like, you're a mom, you're going to get distracted, right? Like, we can't really plan some of our distractions because we don't know when our kids are going to get sick or when they're going to get hurt or when they're going to just annoy the crud out of us. Like, we don't know when that's going to happen. So I think give ourselves a little bit of grace on this one. Like any minute I can have one of my 4 kids come through this door. You know, that's going to distract me from talking to you guys. So there are some distractions, but I'm talking more about the distractions that we can help. So I will just go ahead and share with you a few distractions that I have had recently, which is what caused me to write these 3 words. But like I work on, you know, social media. Coaches work on social media, and I get on and I find myself, instead of working, I find myself scrolling or comparing, you know, like just doing like this time sucker. And pretty soon an hour has gone by. I've accomplished nothing. I don't feel good about myself. And like, I have nothing to show for that time block. And so that is pure distraction. And, it's basically like, it's based off of like fear, like, okay, I need to do what I need to do or whatever. But there are distractions that we can stop. So just think about some of the things that you find yourself doing when you know you should be doing something else. So this goes with exercise. I think it is so easy to get distracted when we're exercising. Our kids are a distraction, yes, but also like a phone call comes in, or somebody knocks on the door, or we just want to sit down and scroll on social media for a second, or you have a thought come up and you sit down, you know, like, it's just think about the kind of distractions that you let in and think, how can I shift this so I can be intentional, so that when I have a time block, I use that time the way I want to use it. It's like I block out a time to work on our spring cleaning, but it's so easy for me to get distracted doing other things, and other things that are good too. Like, it's good to clean our house, right? But not if we're supposed to be exercising during that minute. So that's kind of the thing. And the opposite of distraction is discipline. It is, you know, so we have like distraction down here, but stopping us. But up here on this path of like, we're going to get there, we have discipline. And it's just by making ourselves do what we're supposed to be doing. And that's a lot easier said than done. So that's why hopefully like this alarm will help us remember that. Like, okay, but I'm working towards this, and this is the kind of person I'm going to be right now, so I can get there. And then the second thing that is avoidance. Now that kind of goes with distraction, but avoidance is kind of more like, you know, you have to get something done, but instead of like, you're distracted or whatever from getting it done. It's more like you purposely fill your time with other things instead of getting it done. So, I mean, we are all guilty of this. And it's kind of like, Stacy and Joe will probably know this book already, but there's a book called Eat the Frog. And in that book, and I don't know why anyone would have to eat a frog every day, but if you knew you had to eat a frog, like this little frog, every single day, like every day you had to eat a frog. I don't know, like apocalypse or something, and you have to eat a frog. But like, if every day you had to eat a frog, are you the kind of person that would just get up and be like, well, let's just eat this so I don't have to think about it anymore. I don't have to worry about it anymore. I'm just going to eat the stupid frog. And like, it's going to be gross. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be hard, but I'm just going to do it and enjoy the rest of my day. Or are you the kind that like pokes at it or pretends it's not there, or like maybe takes little bites and like, oh, I just can't, I mean, eventually you have to eat it. Okay. But the person that just eats it doesn't have to worry about it the rest of the day. Whereas the other person not only has to still eat the frog, but they think about it all day long. So that's the kind of avoidance that I'm talking about, where it's like, there's a phone call you need to make. There's a workout you got to do. That there's a conversation you have to have. That there's something to do in personal life and business life and anything that has to happen that day. But you're like, are you the kind that just gets it done, or the kind that thinks about it? And then like that thinking about and all day long, it consumes you. It distracts you from all the other things that you're supposed to be doing. So one thing that has helped me is when I wake up in the morning, and for a long time I actually had a friend who was my accountability buddy in this too. And we don't run the same businesses or anything. We're very different, but we both needed help. So every morning we would text each other one business goal, one personal goal that we had to get done that day, a task, little or small, but something that we knew had to happen that day. And obviously we wouldn't have it where we were sending it to the other if it wasn't kind of like a frog to us. If it wasn't something we didn't really want to do. And then it was like, okay, that's what I have to do first. And anyway, so just think about, what are the frogs in your life? And what if you just got them done when you said you were going to get them done? If you don't exercise till later, that's fine. It's just like in that moment, don't be like, I don't know, should I? I mean, like just put on your workout clothes and push play. Like, don't even think about it. Just do it. Just eat the dang frog. Okay. And the opposite of avoidance is obviously action. So that's just kind of what I was saying, like eating the frog. So just think about things that you're avoiding or things that distract you. And then think about, okay, I need to take action. I need to be disciplined. And how would somebody who's intentional and grateful and service-oriented take action? And how would somebody who is strong and disciplined and focused take action? And how would someone who's disciplined, accomplished, and different take action? If you guys can think about those when you're making your decisions, we can be intentional. We can get stuff done. So that's my spill today on how to live an intentional life. And I can tell you I'm not perfect. I'm working at it. I'm just trying to, I really have these ideas and these visions of the kind of mom I am and the kind of coach I am and wife I am. But like, you really can't leave things to chance. So if you're waking up, you don't really know what your day's going to look like. You're already like filling it full of avoidance and distraction without even realizing it. So, all right. Angela, you have anything you want to add? Are you there? I can't see your face. You're missing. No? Echo? Maybe she's scolding children. Except I can't really see her doing that, but I'm sure she does it. Okay, any of you two have anything you want to add? Stacy or Victoria? I love your words, by the way.
I just have to say that, like, I totally needed that because last week I was so badly avoiding everything I needed to do because it's basically fear of, doing certain things. And so I avoided it, and then I felt really crummy the whole week. So thank you.
I had a similar week, Stacy. So, I mean, not necessarily last week, but a few weeks ago. And it was like you kind of get into a slump. And then you see it, you recognize it, but it's very hard to like pull yourself out of it. And so I think it's just like being reminded. And then I also heard something today. I listened to the Life Coach School podcast. Anyway, it's a very good podcast. And she was talking about how you have a baseline for yourself and how a lot of times we set expectations for ourselves that are way high. Like, I'm going to never eat sugar again, or I'm going to work out an hour a day, where you're going from like 0 to 60. And then what happens is you don't work out at all because like it's such an overwhelming goal. And so she's like, what if you just had a baseline? Like, I will work out for 5 minutes. I will get on the treadmill for 5 minutes. And I kind of apply that to like coaching, and I apply that to fitness, and I apply that to my nutrition because it's terrible. But it's like taking your goal, whatever it is, and just like slicing it in half or even in a quarter. So like just show up and just do, that kind of almost like a bare minimum, like what your baseline is, and then it makes you feel better. You're like, well, I at least did what it wasn't the, however many, but it was something. So anyway, that'd be a good one. That's like a recent one, Stacy. So listen to that. Anyway, are you guys good? We good? Okay.
Hey, I'm so sorry, you guys.
Oh, there you are. Mm-hmm.
I stepped away for a minute because I saw my neighbor ready to throw a rock at my cat. So I'm like, I know. I can't even. Both my cats are inside right now, and I'm a little bit PO'd. But anyways.
That's terrible.
Can I share? I know. I'm kind of fuming a little bit. So I'm just going to.
Is your neighbor an adult that's throwing a rock?
He is a grown man. He is older than I am. He's legally blind. But he was not nice. Anyways, I can't look out my window right now because I'm so mad at him. But I wanted to share you guys something that I read in my personal development this morning really quick. And then we can go. It's from the book, Girl, Wash Your Face. Get the book right now.
I've never even heard of that book.
Oh my gosh. It is top 3 hands down, and I'm not even halfway through. It's so good.
One chapter left, and it is so good.
I just read the chapter on sex, and I'm like, that was really good. No, it's good. She's so good. Anyways, this is what she said. Goals and dreams are hard. I get it. Actually, accomplishing them is so much harder than you think it will be. Maybe you're making progress, but it's only an inch at a time. Meanwhile, your friend Tammy has been promoted twice. Your sister is married with 2 kids. And you feel as though you're still way back there at the start where everyone is passing you by. Some days you feel so discouraged you want to cry. Go ahead and cry. And then she just goes on to talk about, like, your dreams are your dreams, so go after them. They're going to take a while, no big deal. She, like, talks about, like, James Cameron, how it took him 15 years to make Avatar, but that was the most successful movie ever. Or Julia Child took her 10 years to write Mastering the Art of French Cooking. Like, it takes a long time to accomplish great goals, but go for it anyways. So, anyways, just a minute, honey. Okay. Now my kid's talking to me. Anyways, that was it. It was good.
I love that. That's a good message.
Yeah, get the book. It's awesome.
On my list now. All right, you guys. Well, we'll see you guys in the group, and have a fantastic week, and be super intentional about everything. Be total rock stars. And last thing is something that I learned is when you learn something, or when something has an aha moment, teach it to somebody else. Teach it a little bit more. So chat with your husband, chat with your neighbor, your kids, whatever. But like, think, I want to be intentional. Let me tell you what I know about being intentional. And these are my words. What are your words? That kind of thing. So, all right. I'll see you guys in the group. Thanks.
Love it. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.